Hello everyone and welcome back to the Blackfoot Book Club and another volume of my essential film reviews collection. Thanks for being there. This is a long one and it's also dedicated to the spirit of two ladies I miss desperately. And so this is dedicated for Maureen and for Vivian. The metamorphosis of the pure virginal white swan into her evil black swan twin is the insignia for Aronofsky's fifth film, set against a continuing visual motif of white on black throughout, and a day in, day out striving for perfection in this brilliant psychological thriller. From the simple premise of casting for Tchaikovsky's ballet Swan Lake, we follow a similar theme of obsession and perfection, which is brilliantly juxtaposed in a horror psychological drama that never relents, and although following a linear narrative, always reinforces a darker, obsessive side to many characters. Written by Mark Heyman, Heinz and John McLaughlin, however, it was Aronofsky's original idea of a relationship between a wrestler and a ballerina that spawned both The Wrestler and Black Swan, and is why they both share the obvious themes of dedication and obsession to their art, but more importantly perhaps is the physical toll exacted on these perfectionists. Both films showcase this, but importantly they both portray the psychological and physiological breakdowns brought on by their obsession. Whereas in The Wrestler we see an aged wrestler trying to recapture his glory days in a failing body, here the close-ups are of a frail, tender and young Nina Sayers, Natalie Portman, rigorously training at every available opportunity, foregoing the delights of a normal diet and indeed a normal, regular life to achieve her dream. The close-ups are of the excruciating pain ballerinas go through to achieve a nubile and flexible body, the constant pressure on their legs and feet, forever here shot in close-up. And whereas The Wrestler depicts camaraderie between the professionals, here there is intense competition to be the best, to stand out amongst a high calibre field, and never settling for being a member of the cast. The film quickly and expertly shines a light onto an art form that requires intense dedication and preparation, with nothing left to chance. New ballet shoes are worn in, scored and taped together. Routines are meticulously repeated over and over again, pushing Nina and her contemporaries immediately to the boundaries of physical exhaustion, yet each spare minute is framed with Nina posing, posturing and dreaming of being chosen as the White Swan or Swan Queen. The white on black motif is never more starkly portrayed than in Lily Mila Kunis, a contemporary of Nina's who, despite being the newest member of the cast, quickly becomes the most popular and eventual double for her. The doppelganger motif is immediately evident, but it's Lily's free-spirited verve and ever-smiling persona that juxtaposes against Nina's more rigid determination to succeed and achieve perfection. Lily is simply everything that Nina should be, but isn't. Nina is technically brilliant, but as punishing teacher Thomas Leroy, Vincent Cassell, is often shown in the background. She needs to let go and be herself. Technically adept at being the White Swan, he doubts her ability to encompass the raw passion and intensity of the Black Swan, the merging of the majesty of the virginal White Swan with the dark intensity and free spirit of her twin. Aronofsky's camera work is immediately to the fore from the opening scene onward, and as with The Wrestler, he again frames the majority of his star's performances close up with a Steadicam that immerses you in the dance and the exacting routines. His constantly moving camera brilliantly brings to life a highly technical and choreographed art, with a signature circular camera move often employed. Black Swan saw Aronofsky finally acclaimed with an Oscar nomination for Best Director, and rightfully so, alongside a well-deserved nomination for regular cinematographer Matthew Libatic and editor Andrew Weissblum. The film itself was also nominated at the 2011 Oscars for Best Film, however only Natalie Portman won for her incredible portrayal as Nina Sayers for Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role. Both Mila Kunis and Vincent Cassel were cruelly overlooked for their accomplished portrayals, as was Barbara Hershey for her performance as Nina's exacting and tireless mother, Erica Sayers. Costume designer Amy Westcott also deserved higher recognition for her sterling work. Amongst many standout supporting roles across the large cast of ballerinas is a crucial cameo role from Winona Ryder as Beth McIntyre. In support of these fantastic roles is another musical score from regular collaborator Clint Mansell, but here, unsurprisingly, the weight is left with the superb original pieces of music from the ballet itself, and a thumping Chemical Brothers interlude in a nightclub that brilliantly surrounds a hedonistic, drug-fueled night of passion and of letting go, and the beginnings of Nina's final transformation into the Black Swan. Coming full circle from Pi, this film owes a tremendous debt to Aronofsky's black and white debut film, and whilst more stylish and accomplished than its early predecessor, this takes the psychological horror to a new, oblique level. Here the film excels away from the obsessive desire for perfection and away from characters that are so enveloped in achieving this halcyon position of nirvana, they reject anything and everything else to achieve it. The film is wrapped in a metamorphosis from virginal white to dark and sinister black. Nina is dedicated to the extreme, but always overlooked by an overbearing mother, always dressed in black. Their apartment is white on black throughout, and seemingly everywhere Nina turns, she sees this reflection on her, black against white, white on black. Nina is forever in white or light pastel-coloured clothing, juxtaposed against Lily, her ballet mistress, Thomas, and even Beth, all dressed in dark or mainly black clothing. The film also excels as Nina's transformation becomes complete, as both her body and her mind transform to encompass both the black and the white swan. Early on she passes herself in a railway station, the film's first signature overt clue, and the railway station is continually used, as with Pi, as a narration point for her physical decline. Reflections in windows immediately provide more black and white motifs, as does awkward encounters on the train or a brief early glimpse of Lily in another train carriage, white on black, black on white, constantly recurring, constantly recurring. There are subtle psychological touches as the film progresses through to overt and outlandish touches of greatness in a pulsating last act that spoilers will not allow me to divulge. Brilliant performances from Natalie Portman, Mila Kunis, Vincent Cassel and Barbara Hershey in particular propel this 108-minute gem of a film that, although not a personal favourite of mine, relies heavily on the director's first, best and most challenging film. From Pi to Black Swan, in 5 brilliant films. Full circle, that'll be 3.14 recurring. Round and round, black on white, white on black. And that was Black Swan, directed by Darren Aronofsky, dedicated to Maureen and to Vivian. And, as an added extra, it actually is one of my favourite films of Darren Aronofsky now, but then again, I love them all. I'll leave you in peace and in solidarity, and I thank you so much for watching. Please be careful out there, everyone. Peace.